आपादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेत्तेन विद्यापणशन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षमङ्घ्रिद्वयं निगमशाकिशिखाप्रवाल हैरम्बमम्बुरुहडम्बरचौतिनिग्रं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधुरन्धरम् सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. Welcome to the Bhashya session. So we have seen three shlokas which is reference to Rishi Kaushika, his opinions we were discussing. So of that, the first one that we saw was where the Atma is compared to being caged by the Sharira, Stula and Sukshma Sharira, what we see, that is, that it is getting caged over there. And that is the reason for the papas that we have been accumulating. Now, understanding this is pretty simple. Any karma that we do, the karma mimamsa, when we talk about it, any karma that we do, it accrues some kind of a phala. That phala is enjoyed by the sharirites. It either we are talking about a mental state or we are talking about a physical state. That means we have done something good. There is a feel good factor. So we have our mental state is getting rejoiced. In the same way, we have done something. We are receiving something physical. We're talking about money or anything like that. Dhanarjana is going on. We have earned it and we get some physical gratification out of it. Again, it is that only. But the Karana Sharira, the source of manifestation or the reason for manifestation is getting bound by these two. There is no relation to the Karana Sharira. The Karana Sharira is not going to get enhanced or it is not going to get changed. The consciousness is not going to change because of these things, because these are all purely emotional factors. The only way it can understand or it can understand its state is when we separate the Sukshma and Stula Sharira and as an individual try to attach with the state of Satchit Ananda, which is the state of Parabrahman, then the Karana Sharira has some kind of astitva. Otherwise, even though it is the source of all manifestations, it is not bound by the law of karma. Therefore, when we do some karma, we have to await that karma phala. The body has to await the our Stula and Sukshma Sharira both are awaiting them. And then when we receive it, then again there are repercussions and there is a cycle and it goes on, like we have seen in Sri Gita. In that process, what happens is the Karana Sharira gets stuck unnecessarily because there is no effort to remove that. There is no effort to remove the Karana Sharira from the body. It is like when we talk about tender coconut water. Everybody may not know tender coconut water has a lot of electrolytes in them, which actually helps us. Now, it is possible to separate the liquid and the electrolytes, but there is no prayatna, there is no efforts towards. Otherwise, they can also be stored separately. We don't do that. Like what we do with respect to saline water. What we do, there is a process called as desalination where the salt within the ocean water is separated. And we can store that water. We can store the water also. We can store the salt also. But due to lack of effort, what happens? This Karana Sharira, which is which resides within the Stula and Sukshma Sharira, is now caught. Is now caught with whatever that is happening. Like I'm taking ocean water, that is salt water, and I'm using it for some purpose, let us say. Unnecessarily, the salt also gets used in it. By separating them, salt can be used separately, water can be used separately, and they both have their own uses. If we bathe in salt water, hair starts to fall out, and if the skin problems occur, etc., etc., all those things happen. But if we separate those two, then both of them are useful to us. Both of them are necessary to us. But we never take that, when we don't take up that process, that is, when we don't separate the Karana Sharira from the Stula and Sukshma Sharira, we never understand the Astitva, the existence of Karana Sharira, its nature separately. This is the reason why here Agastya Maharshi says that what we need to do, or what we need to, or what can we do, Smaranat Eva, Krishnasya Smaranat Eva, just chant his name, do his Sankirtana, do his Smarane. It has the power to break the Papa Sanghata Panjaraha. There's actually one word there, we didn't see it. It is Papa Sanghata Panjaraha. So that Panjara that is caging the Karana Sharira, it breaks, it opens, and thereby allowing the Karana Sharira to reunite with the Tattva of Krishna or the Parabrahman. Therefore, this is like, we will see the last story anyway. It has the power. Krishna's name, Nama Sankirtana, has that power. Like Indra's Vajrayuda has the power to cut the wings of mountains. That is another Purana story. It is from Brahma Purana, and there is a mention, I think, in Katha Sarit Sagara as well, where in Sati Yuga, it is said that the Parvatas had the power to fly. They had wings, it seems. But their frequent movements caused a lot of problems on earth. Therefore, Indra, sensing that they are troublesome to Manavas, what he did, he asked them to stand in a line and he cut their wings. Therefore, the ranges are like that. That is another story. They're all, you have range of mountains. That is the reason they're always standing together. Again, of course, this theory, when we know fold mountains, the reason why it occurs when there are two tectonic plates that come together, they press against each other, then there are movements, and then they fold. Himalayas is a popular fold mountain, therefore there is a range. But here, that is the story. The reason why they are always in a range is because like this, it seems. There is one Himalaya and Mena Devi, or these two had a son, Mainaka. However, he got scared, and he didn't want to lose his wings, so he hid from Indra. He went to the middle of the ocean and he settled down there. This is one story. And he escaped that wrath. That is what the story is. So when mountains had wings. So this is mentioned as a part of Purana. It is available in Katha Sarisagara and many other texts like that. I think there is mention of that in Rig Veda also. Like this. Either way, the intention of bringing up the story is that, like the Vajrayudha is a very powerful Ayudha. I think it is the most powerful Ayudha. Nothing can match that except for Shiva's Trishula or Krishna's Sudarshana. Nothing can match that. So this Vajrayudha was made from Dadichi's spine, if I'm not wrong. From his spine, Vajrayudha was made. So this Ayudha is so powerful that it has 100 sharp edges. So even when I say the Mangalam, I say Shatadhara Dhurandaran Naha, which is also a reference to Vajrayudha only. It can slash to anything. Like it is like there is some mention of some fables also in the Western mythology, where there is a dagger which is sharp enough to cut through even space and time, like that. It is that sharp, so it can cut through anything. So this Vajrayudha, which cut through the wings of mountains. You should not be uh, uh, imagine like a feeble thing. Mountains means they are huge, and wings of mountains means they are also extremely strong. So it can cut through them. Like that, Krishna's name has the power to destroy or cut through that cage. That is the Sharira, which is caging our Karana Sharira, manifested form. So that is the metaphoric meaning of it. Then this is the next one is a very direct reference. That means it is from Brahma Purana only, and this it uh, even in Brahma Purana also it is the same shloka that is available. That is Krishne Ratah Krishna Manusmarantaha Bhavitas Tadgata Manasascha भिन्नेपि देहे प्रविशन्ति कृष्णं हविर्यथा mantrahutam hutashe. So understanding what the havis is, what dehatyaga is, that is extremely important. So here, when we give offering through the fire, that is called as havis. Whenever we do it through fire, it is called as havis. It is said that havis is the name of um, Agni Deva's wife, who brings about offerings to him. And it is only through Agni that offerings are made to the gods. And therefore, he becomes the source of energy to all the devas. So, when the body, when our yajna or a bhakta's ultimate destination is to reach the higher power, reach the higher consciousness, to unite our consciousness with the higher consciousness. So, how do we do that? Yes, we are connecting through meditation, etc., our kriyas, yes. But Deha Tyaga is the ultimate havis that we can do for this yajna to get completed, for that union to happen, of union of Brahman and Parabrahman to happen. The body has to be given up, and therefore it is like that havis. Without havis, without offering, a yajna or a havana does not get completed. That is the reason we do purna ahuti in the end. Ahuti has to be given. So therefore, it giving up dehatyaga is like that. That is the comparison that has been made over. Then the third sloka, it is very simple, but it brings out the conclusion that a person who doesn't who doesn't take the name of uh, Krishna, who doesn't do Sankirtana of Namparayana, he is the true definition of a person who is dumb. That means who cannot speak. Because he knows that there is uh, there is virtue in taking Krishna's name, and yet he is not doing it. Therefore, he is the true definition of dumb. Then a person who doesn't have the interest, doesn't have the um, inclination to know about Krishna as a thought, as tattva, as a person, as a personality, then that person is the laziest. He is lazy, that is jada. And then the one who cannot imagine Krishna, one who cannot understand Krishna, that is the true definition of who is blind. This is what what Acha, Actually, it is Acharya trying to say. The reference is from Agastya Maharshi. But this is what Acharya has picked up to bring to our notice. So even in a why it is important, even in a good muhurta, if we do not take his name, if we do not remember Vasudeva, then that good muhurta is not auspicious. Because we know by example that Krishna had the power to even change the muhurta. Yeah, we get the reference in Mahabharata where Duryodhana asks Sahadeva, who is a great astrologer, at what muhurt should we start the war so that I can win this war? Then Sahadeva, being a very virtuous person, he doesn't tell him lies or anything like that. He says you have to start in Abhijit Muhurta. And that point of time, what happens? The Abhijit Nakshatra, which a nakshatra usually has four padas. And what happens? The Muhurta, it usually goes on, I think, for about 45 minutes is one pada, 40 minutes is one pada, so around 3 hours or something. Mm, 3 hours plus is one pada, sorry, one nakshatra's duration. So, what happens? No, no, this is only for Abhijit Nakshatra. So what happens is Krishna calls Abhijit Nakshatra and he reduces its aura. And Prajapati, who is the father of Abhijit, he comes and he says, he's my only son, and you have reduced his aura. Now his vyapti, his scope of influence has reduced. Who will even remember him? So Krishna says, this is going to be the brightest star in the sky. This is going to be the brightest star in the sky. And whatever is every nakshatra's scope and their influence is going to be there, it is all going to be condensed towards this only. But Muhurta is shorter. So it is only for around 45 to 50 minutes. So he reduces the Muhurat timings so that Duryodhana doesn't start Kurukshetra war during Abhijit Muhurta. So he has the power to change the Vidyamanas of whatever we are existing of any world. So such a person, if we do not take his name, then even if we say this is the good Muhurta, it does not give that phala. That is the meaning of Maharshi's words that Acharya is trying to bring up. So this is the Ashram session. Astu. Asti prajabhyah pratipalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि